We did. We lived it up all summer long and are likely left with a phone filled with photos to prove it. We want to remember those summer moments and relive the memories, but the question becomes, how do we narrow them down as to what we print? My first guest says we can encapsulate our summer in a handful of photos to represent our experiences. Chari Pack is here to share how to document your summer travels and your summer memories in a way that captures the moments, but is also simple and time effective too. Welcome back to our show, sister.
Thank you, Brooke.
We need you right now. The camera rolls are bursting.
It goes by so fast.
Summer's
already over. Here we are. We have a camera roll full of amazing memories.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I'm like, if I'm stopping to take a photo, what's it for? You know, we're all kind of tired of the scrolling, but for me, it's like I'm not taking the photo for today, but for 20 years from today.
Right.
You know, those kids, you know, having those memories and building strong, confident children and
yes, all
evoking emotions. So photos are super important to me. And when we have this photo overwhelm, because we are taking more photos than ever before, it kind of becomes inundating to how do I print them? What do I do with this, right?
Yeah.
And I love individual real photographic pictures. For me personally, every month I go through and I heart the photos, you know, whether it be the end of the day, I'll like cull through my camera roll and delete, heart the ones I want to keep, and then I'll go through each month and swipe and print the ones that really made the cut.
You're in a good routine, and you've helped women, we'll talk about this a little later, you've helped women be able to slip into a similar routine. But can I ask you about the culling process? Like, what are you saying to yourself as you're looking at the, say, 30 photos you took today about the ones that go and the ones that stay and ultimately land in your home?
Exactly. I mean, especially for young moms, I feel like it's not really the posed photos that I love personally. I like the messy room or the laundry or just really things. I mean, thinking ahead, what do I want to remember in 20 years? Because the post photos are all great, but let's remember the hard times too.
Yeah.
And just things, especially for young kids, to look back on and remember just one event. You know, if you go to Disneyland, you don't need to print the entire trip of Disneyland, but just a few photos will really help evoke that emotion.
Do you push yourself that way? Like, do you get ruthless and say, I really only need a few?
Yeah.
And delete, 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 delete.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, so kind of take that tough girl attitude.
It doesn't need to be overwhelming, for sure.
Okay.
And remember, you can always recover old deleted photos now in iPhone and Android.
Give us that,
so if you change your mind, you can go back and find them.
Sometimes I feel like I envy your daily routine. Sometimes I feel like I need time, like a little bit of separation in order to look back and be ruthless and be discerning about what ones I keep and what ones go. So sometimes that time helps me a little bit. What do we do once we've decided? Once we've hearted the photos we love, you're so passionate about getting them off of our phones and into our real lives.
Listen, time goes by fast, and even just looking back a year from today, you guys that are watching and listening may be like, wow, that seems like forever ago, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, it's just getting them off the phone, getting them into a system that works for me. And whether that be a bound photo book, I like instant gratification. So personally, I like to print them each month and then do something with them.
Well, you believe memories are tied to touch, and that's where the passion in printing kind of circles.
Absolutely. And I feel like even displaying them somewhere in your home, whether it be in a frame or an album, but just being able to physically touch them and having them out for family or guests that arrive really has more of an impact, I feel like, than a screen.
You've got some album ideas for us, ways you've documented that are achievable. Walk us through your suggestions.
So many different ways to print your pictures, to display them in your home, to keep them out. You know, one thing that's kind of new are these like memory boxes, but they look like the really cool
like a
coffee table book.
Yeah.
And you can open these up. This is from a company called Printworks.
Okay.
No affiliate, but this one I was making for my husband and I, our book of firsts.
Okay.
And what's funny is even as adults, even though I don't have young toddlers like you do, I still am going through
They're kindergartners now, Chari.
Oh, gosh.
Just kidding.
We all have our firsts, right?
Yeah,
and as young moms, we're taking first bath, first lost tooth, but even as adults, we have firsts.
What a fun thing to celebrate. What a fun idea and a fun lens to look through.
Exactly, and so really you can just plop a photo in there. I'm over like fancy scrapbooks. It's really about the memory and the moment. You know, the first time skiing, the first time in Japan, especially with travels and things like that. It's all my firsts, and it's going to be really fun to look back on in 20 years.
Fantastic, and look at the simplicity.
It's
I mean,
so
you've got
easy.
a white pen, you've got a black paper, a few doodles, but mostly photos, and that's what we care about.
Exactly.
That's what we care about. These are awesome. What was the company again?
This one's called Printworks.
Printworks, okay.
You can find them online.
All right, what else, sister?
We've got, you know, little frames I like to throw them in and rotate them as the months go by, we have these little albums in our app that you can just
Oh, look at this.
swipe and print. It holds 32 photos.
I love to have these around the house because you never know what nook and cranny will like prompt someone to push pause, right? And to just reflect and appreciate all these memories we've had together.
And the great thing about individual photos is, say, you know when you have to make those posters for maybe their first, do they still do that?
Yeah, all about me. We're making them right now.
So you can literally take a print out of here, put it on a poster for school, and then put it back when you're done.
With summer memories in particular, do you narrow in a little more in a focused manner, like the Disneyland trip, and I do an album around that? Or do you just think summer is okay, just to encapsulate summer 2024?
Yeah, whatever works for you. That's where I feel like people kind of overthink things and want everything to be perfect. For me, as a young mom, I did a baby book up to their first year. Now I'm doing family albums every, we'll do like 3 or 4 months. Whenever I travel, because that's my chapter in my life right now.
Yes.
I love creating like a travel journal with pocket albums, because with pocket albums, you can add memorabilia.
Okay.
So if
Fun.
a lot of people will call me and be like, hey, remember that trip you took 2 years ago? Where did you eat again? And I can't remember. So I'll go into my pocket album and I have my, hotel cards and maps and things.
Menus. Fun.
That I have
so fun.
kept.
And really quickly, this wall mount is gorgeous. That's so fun.
This photo mount,
Yes.
that's from Pottery Barn. They're just 4x4 prints that are stuck in there. You can rotate them, every 3 months, every summer. The kids love looking at their photos, especially if you do a big family photo shoot.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun way to put everything together.
I do think that's the home update that we often underappreciate, is just swapping out photos. Like, it's the best way to bring a fresh feel into your home in an inexpensive way. Thank you for motivating us and giving us those prompts to ask ourselves as we print and as we bring these memories to real life. You have an app that helps women do this in the most amazing way.
Yep, it's called Persnickety Box. You simply swipe photos into a box and close it up, and it ships to your door every month.
It's so slick. I love it. I'm way behind, but I have my boxes.
Do it in your bed.
Waiting for me. I know. After prayers and before my eyes close. That's always my goal. Thank you so much. Where can we get more information about that? A subscription service.
PersnicketyBox.com. It's on iOS and Android.
You're the best, Chari.
Thanks,
Thank you
Brooke.
so much.